Hey guys, I want to talk today about something that is becoming more and more prevalent and I'm not liking it, and I kind of want to talk to you about what it means and how it works and why it's not a good idea, and that is the concept of ghosting, right? Ghosting a friend, a partner, a job interview, a job itself, a restaurant reservation, a conference call, an appointment, anything that you've signed up to do and you've said, I will be there, and then you decide, I'm not going to be there and I'm not going to tell the person that I had made that appointment with about it. That is a form of ghosting. And here's why it sucks. And here's why, if it's part of your repertoire of how you do things, you need to get it out of your life. Okay, let's talk about ghosting something like a job interview. When I ran a company a few years back, I was hiring for entry-level positions. And I kid you not, when I would put a job posting up, I would get 20, 30, 40 applicants within a day. And of those applicants, they took the time to click on my job listing, to upload or post their resume, to write an email to me saying, hey, I'd really like to talk to you about this job. I think I'm a good fit. And of the maybe 30 or 40 resumes I got, I would take 5 and schedule interviews with them. I kid you not, of those 5, half, usually 2 to 3, 2.5 to 3, if we're gonna round to 3, would just not show up for the interview. I would make the time, I would take their resume, I would read it over and over, I would have a list of questions I wanted to ask them, and then they would just not show. Guess what happened to them? Number 1, they didn't get hired. Number 2, their name went into a little file, and if years later they applied for anything else, or if they applied for a job at a company that I knew people who owned or worked at, we talked frequently, bosses and employers and people who work in the same industry talk frequently. Names would get shared, and there would be people on a blacklist saying, hey, you made the appointment with me. I asked you when was a good time. You said, here's a good time. I took time out of my day, and you decided to ghost me on that job interview, okay? No skin off my back. It lets me know, hey, this was not a person that I wanted working in my organization, because they would have been a disaster. But it lets me interface with other people, other peers in my network, and just say, hey, I know you guys are hiring. This is kind of a small hiring pool that we're looking at. Hey, here's a list of 5 people that just ghosted the interview on me. So, your name will get spread around if you ghost a job interview. How about if you already have a job and you just decide I'm not going to show up anymore? Same thing, but even worse. Then you've fired yourself, basically, so you've eliminated any access you have to workers' compensation or unemployment for the time that you're not working anymore. So don't do that, because you've just basically fired yourself for all intents and purposes. When we're talking about meetings or Zoom calls or things like that, especially if you have made a one-on-one agreement with someone to meet at a certain time on the internet, on a Zoom call or a Google Meet, and then you don't show up, again, my opinion of you, if I'm ever going to do business with you in the future, has just gone through the floor, and you're on basically a pay no mind list anymore. Would you do that to someone in person if you had decided to have a meeting at a coffee shop and then just ghost the meeting and not have any contact with them? You probably wouldn't do that. If you are the type of person who would do that, you need to get out of society, because that's not the way we work up here. You need to actually interact with people. And if you have a situation where you don't want to meet with them anymore, or you don't want to have any more ongoing interaction with them, just say to them, hey, this isn't working out. This is not kind of what my focus is right now. I have a limited amount of time, and I got to focus on other things right now. So I'm sorry, I can't meet you for that coffee. I can't meet you for that lunch. I can't meet you for that drink after work, whatever. But at least be honest, be upfront, don't just disappear. Ghosting and disappearing is a kind of a new mode of conduct that's come about in the last, I'd say, 10, 15 years. We didn't do that when we were growing up, because we knew that was the fastest track to get blacklisted and to not have a future in the town or the industry or the group that we were trying to work with or within. I don't know why it's happening. I think it is basically just cowardice that's been given a stamp of approval. If you're too much of a coward, you go talk to someone face to face and say, hey, we can't make this meeting, or I don't want to take this meeting anymore, or you know what, this just isn't really what I'm focused on at the moment. yeah, you need to go work in a business where you don't have to interact with people, because that's just really not the way that grown-ups and adults work with each other. And I'm just saying this to you because, I don't know what you are in your job hunt, but if you ever ghost an interview, if you get a job and you ever ghost that job by not showing up, if you ever are supposed to have a Zoom call with someone or a Google Meet call with someone and you don't show up, just forget it. You're just, you're whittling down the numbers of allies that you might have that could work on your behalf or be a champion for you. You're just eliminating that for no good reason other than you're too much of a coward to have a conversation with them. I'm just saying this is a slightly new phenomenon that I'm not really comfortable with. I've seen it happen. I want to tell you up front that if this is part of your repertoire of the way you interact and the way you conduct business, stop doing it. Be upfront, be vocal, be honest, give people some respect, and it will come back to you in spades. So I hope that is beneficial for you. Just a little seed of thought to put in your mind. If you have any more questions or any more issues or you want to talk about things, click on the link below and we will set up a time to chat. Appreciate your time. Do good things. See you next time.